My dear students, good afternoon. I am with you with the next chapter of your book prescribed for General English, The Many Worlds of Literature, and today's topic is The Inspector of Schools. This is a story by Mr. Athar Tahir. And before I tell you something about the story, I would just like to give a brief introduction of M. Athar Tahir. M. Athar Tahir's story about the condition of a village school is very realistic, and it is true to life. This is what still happens in many villages of the subcontinent, because education is considered an indulgence in the countries of the poor, yet it is the only way in which a society can progress towards awareness and development. Amidst the callous indifference of the social system, we all know we keep on blaming social system, but one hand the government is there and other are, in this story, two individuals who are seriously committed to education, and these two characters are both the schoolmaster and the inspector. Schoolmaster, he carries on his task in the worst possible conditions and situation, and inspector, he walks miles into the interior in order to inspect the schools. But when he himself becomes helpless, his helplessness depresses him, because he realizes the one thing, that his recommendation will serve no purpose. So independence hasn't made any difference, and this school master is similarly, he is unhappy at his own inability to further the cause. So this is a story, and the writer, as I already told you, it's written by Mr. Athar Tahir, who has written it very I would say in a very natural, and the story is written in its natural flow. Once the reader starts reading the story, it takes him till the end. He is moved and he really feels connected with the characters of the story. The story begins that how inspector comes and he saw one villager who was carrying a plough, and he said, "Is there any school?" So that farmer, he tells, yes, there is a school, and then he says, I think it is outside the village. The streets were bumpy, muddy, as we find streets in the rural suburbs of our country. And he began walking down roads up to the school. The approach towards the school is not a very easy one, and he has to walk down the damp track, and then he saw one cyclist who's coming on the way, and he asked, "Where is the school?" School, he said, "You see that shisham tree?" He said, pointing to a large tree, "and it's under there. Could you come along and show me?" The villager was also very happily agreed to City Babu. City Babu is used, see the usage of a term like City Babu, which is very typical of Indian writers who write in English. And then they come to a place where he saw the students and the master. The inspector of school did not reply, and he knew that such type of journey was not a new one to him, because as he was an inspector and he was supposed to make an inspection throughout the district, and everywhere things were more or less same. There were filthy towns, locality was also not good. Somewhere schools were in remote villages, and everything was very depressing. There was a lack of supply, the poor infrastructure, and he only was that he every time he used to think what he could do. He can only make recommendation, and he knew that development is all depends on the department. Nobody listens to it, but he can only make recommendation to the department. They passed plowed field and field green with young wheat, and at one place the area was depressed. The water had gathered there. There was a small pool. So this schoolmaster, he crossed a field of corn, and then he reached at the place, the destination, where the shisham tree was lying there. But there was a shock for him, because he was expecting at least a building over there, and there was no building. He said, no, it's no building. The master carries the school with him. That is all the record, all the registers and everything master used to carry in his own bag, and there was no place where he could keep the records of it. Then he saw that boys also. The boys were near the sugarcane field, and he said he saw some boys approaching towards the field. The peasant who was guiding the inspector to the school, he also stood. He was also, I can say he was awestruck, because the inspector of school sat down on the path, and he was looking at the brown earth and standing crop. There was a shout. He turned, and he found that the school, because of now the main thing which comes into our notice is, for the first time, that because of the sugarcane field, the school was invisible. No, he couldn't see. So the inspector, he sat down at one place, and the peasant, he went into the field. He went into the field in search of school, and finally he said, yes, I have found it. Then the ground was hard with stumbling. He stumbled several times, and then amongst sugar cane crumbs he came to the place, which was very special, because the quiet in the clearing was especially noticeable after the noisy passage through the field. He found some heads who were memorizing the tables. Some boards were propped up against cane stalks. Old man, he had a stick in his hand. He sat cross-legged in a rickety chair in the center, and he was bare feet. The moment inspector reached the place, the monitor commanded in English, "Class, stand," and all the students, they scrambled to their feet and they stood in attention. The master, overcome by the presence of the inspector of school, couldn't register himself, it took time to collect himself, and the peasant was watching with surprise. And he said, "Sir," he asked, "can I go from here?" Inspector said, "Yes, you can take leave." "Huzur, this is the school." The inspector of school looked around frowning. "Yes," he says, "what are you teaching them?" The master said, "I'm teaching them Urdu, sums, English and writing from the books." He says, where are the books? Because The inspector of school, he thumbed through the Urdu textbook, stopped at a chapter and told the student to read. The boy got up and then the master told that this boy is from 2nd standard and this book is of 4th class. Inspector also asked how many classes are there. So he said there are 6, 1 to 6. Now master pointed out with his stick, because all the students were collectively sitting, and master told that these students are for class 1, these are students for class 2, and in this way he explained about the classes, that how students from different classes are sitting at one place, and a student from 6th class was reading a nursery rhyme, and the nursery rhyme was Baba Black Sheep, have you any wool? The schoolmaster, the reputation of the schoolmaster was well deserved. The inspector was very, I would say, impressed with the performance. He says, then again monitor asked the class to stand up, and inspector of school, he made to leave. Once they were out of the field, then inspector of school relaxed, and then he asked a question to the schoolmaster. What is the reason why do you keep your school shifting? He says, because no one provides us a room. People don't want school over there. Many times I requested them, they made fun of me, they never wanted me to have school, and the name of headmaster was Chaudhry Ali Muhammad. He said he is the only man who is kind to us, and he thinks the importance of education, and that is why he cleared the center of the field for us, and in this way we are making students from 1st to 8th sitting in till sunrise prayer here in the field. And headmaster was a person who valued education, sir, and that is why I am with the students. The master took off his white turban and then he showed the top of his head and also said that I have lost my hair carrying these bundles. Bundles means all the record registers. So he said, sir, I am making a request. If we only had a room, just one room, we can make our students sit in one place and I can teach them. The inspector schools, he walked silently on because he had no answer. And in this way, the end of the story, though it is an end, but it is not an end, it raises question towards the entire society, towards the education system prevalent in the urban areas of a country. The inspector, the master, all were dedicated ones, but they had no reply to it. And he was just thinking, the inspector also thought, there are so many masters, but very few of them are dedicated as this fellow. And he says that the last line, the summing statement of the story, is an eye-opener to reader and also to all of us who keeps ourselves blind from the present situation. And that is, it is for the inspector. He could not meet the man's eyes because he had no answer to it. So that is how the story comes to an end.